Hey guys, welcome to my channel Bit Glenn. My name's Glenn and I like to share with you what I learn in the world of cryptocurrency as I go through it. So today I'm actually going to be doing a video about Hex. I know I've done a few of these recently, but today Hex hit a all-time high. So I thought now's a good time to be talking about what's going on with Hex. I also do another stake. And I also have a new website that I haven't shown you guys before to do with Hex that really goes in depth on the platform with loads of stats and statistics. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's get right into the video. So Bitcoin has had a really big run up today actually. Bitcoin has gone up to $9,664, which is up 5.5% overall today. Obviously we had that dump before Bitcoin halvening, which dropped it back down to about 8.4, something like that. So we've had a sort of $1,200 to $1,400 gain today. That's Bitcoin. Let's have a little look at Hex. You can see here that Hex is now up to just over 0.5%. When I invested in, it was actually at 0.0019. So yeah, it's gone up sort of 4 times since I invested in. It's really good returns. I'm really happy with that. You can see here, it looks like it's had a bad day, but actually it's gone up. It's hit its all-time high, but obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum have also had really big pumps today. So that's good for them. I did a video a few days ago about is today a good time to buy Hex using Ethereum, and it actually turned out to be pretty spot on, because if we go over to the transform page on the Hex platform, you can see that there was about 20,000 Ethereum sent to it, but on these days Ethereum was $180, $175. Now it's over the $200 mark, so you're paying a bit extra for your Ethereum now. We've got 3 hours left, and so far there's been 11,000 Ethereum, which is pretty low actually. I would have thought that would have been higher, so I'm going to keep my eye on this. I might put some more money in today actually. Right, so that's that. Obviously I've got my referral link. If you decide to buy any Hex, you can click my link in the description down below. It's entirely up to you. If you'd rather just find Hex on your own, that's absolutely fine, but I will say that if you use my referral link, you gain an extra 10% of whatever Hex you should have got on the day of the transform. So at the moment people are gonna get, as it stands right now, 45,000 Hex per Ethereum, but if you was to use my referral link in the description down below, you'd actually get 10% of that, so you get an extra 4,500 tokens just for clicking my link. I had someone use my referral link and I got a reward of 5,000 Hex, so thank you very much, whoever ACF3 is. On your Ethereum dress. I'm going to actually stake that. So I actually cancelled a couple of my stakes. One was pretty much at the end and one had another week I think left of it. I don't know if you guys remember, I did a couple staking videos and I actually had about 4 stakes running, but the reason I actually cashed them out was because I was trying to take part in crypto.com's syndicate event where you could get Bitcoin at 50% off. Now by the time I sent all the money across and transferred it back into Ethereum, then converted that into Bitcoin, then I had to convert that into CRO, so yeah, it was a massive balls ache. I read the sort of conditions because you had to take part in it to sort of get involved really. All that you had was a countdown clock. So as soon as I got into it, I realized actually you need to stake their CRO token for about 3 to 6 months, and you had to stake about $500 to $1,000 worth of their coin to sort of gain $200 to $500 worth of Bitcoin essentially. And at the time leading up to that event, their CRO token was not an all-time high, but it was all-time high over the last year and a half or so. So I thought that's obviously going to dump, so you're going to lose money that side. And I looked into it and you could stake it and earn sort of 12% APR, but then I thought, you know what, I'd rather just stake Hex token. What I'm going to do, my strategy going forward now is I'm going to, any referrals or anytime I buy in now, I'm only going to be buying in and staking past the big payday. So let's do a stake for today. So you can see here I've got 5,473 Hex tokens. I'm going to put in the maximum amount, and the length of days I'm going to put in, we know the big payday is, right, so I'm going to make it 193 days. So I'll be able to withdraw these tokens after the big payday. You can see up the top here that I'm going to get longer pays better bonus of 577 tokens. Bigger pays better because obviously I'm only staking a very small amount. It's a very tiny, it's not even worth mentioning. That gives me a total of 577 bonus really. That would give me 6,000 tokens. So I would gain an extra 577 tokens. But because I hit the big payday, I should end up with about 11,100. So I'm almost doubling. So it's like 2.5 times my initial stake. So this is what I'm really going for now. Double or quits. Now I understand that obviously as the big payday arises, HEX tokens are going to get sold off. But the way that I'm thinking is, obviously I showed you guys in the numbers the other day, if HEX continues this price run, I can see it getting to 1 cent per coin. If it does get to 1 cent, then not only has the price of each token doubled, I've also doubled the amount I've got. So it's like a gain of 4 times, because instead of having 1 token, you've got 2 tokens, and each token is worth double what they were when you invested. So you're gaining sort of 4 times your amount in money. So this is really, really big. This is really big gains that you could be facing. Now you could be watching this and saying, well, Glenn, what if it goes to 0? That is completely true, and I understand that. I'm willing to take that risk, and if this does go to 0, this is money that I'm fully willing to lose. If this goes to 0 tomorrow, I would not lose any sleep over it. And that's the amount of money that you should be investing. For you watching this, that figure for you may be £10, 10 grand, $1 million, whatever. You shouldn't invest more than you're willing to lose if it was to go to 0. So let's stake this amount of tokens. It's going to bring up my MetaMask, saying today that it's 51 cents to do a fast transaction. Now, as well as obviously HEX being an awesome staking platform, which is going to offer you returns that pretty much no other platform can offer you, and if they do, then you have to look at their credibility. There we go, successfully staked. So that stake will start tomorrow morning. So it won't start today, it will start tomorrow morning. So that's sweet. So that's all done. So thank you to whoever used my referral link and gave me that 5,000 HEX, but I'm going to try and convert it into 11,000 HEX. So that's a win-win for me. So I found this website. If you actually go to their main page, there's loads of links to different pages here, and if you actually take the time, and I suggest you do this if you are looking to research into HEX, go on each one of these links, because there is a wealth of information here, more information than I could probably do a video about, just because it is that in depth. If we actually have a look at the hexinfo.io, it tells you what 1 HEX is worth in US dollars, so a very quick visualization. It tells you what returns you would have got if you invested in HEX in those early days, and I'll show you a graph of that in a second. Then what your return would have been if you compared it against Bitcoin, and what you would have got if you returned it against Ethereum. At the moment, in US dollar terms, we're at 109x. So it's not percents, that's X. That actually equates to 10,857% increase, and it's only about 6 months old. We've got here the market data in US dollar terms, so the price change, it's gone down 4%, it's saying in the last 24 hours, but it has actually reached a huge milestone of over 1 billion US dollar market cap, which is huge. I remember Richard Hart talking about this project when he first started off, and he said, I can't see why HEX won't be a $1 billion project. If you look at all the other $1 billion project, this product is actually going to be working, whereas other projects, they haven't achieved what they set out to do, I suppose. You got adoption of amplified data, tells you when the next lobby's closing and stuff like that, but we've already seen that on the main page. This tells you what happened yesterday, so how much Ethereum went in, how much HEX was given out. It's pretty much 510, 511 million every single day. It slowly decreases over time. You saw a little flash there because things are updating. You can see Ethereum price has gone up over $200 now. And here's some really cool graphs. So we've got here that this is the total amount of HEX that's actually out in the wild. You can see here that 24% of all HEX has been staked. which is huge, and the other 75% is being held in wallets. So there's obviously people that are just holding on to them, hoping that the price goes up, and then the other half, a quarter of them, are staking. This is the launch phase. So you can see here, this is day 1 and this is day 351. So after day 351, there'll be no more big payday, so you won't have those huge sort of 300-400% gains on your Hex tokens. And we're about halfway there now. You can also see here claims. This is a chart of all the Bitcoin. So for every Bitcoin out there, there was 10,000 Hex created, and you can see here 2% of people have claimed their free Hex, absolutely free. You do that, you click the link in the description down below, and you can see here where you click on Bitcoin claim, you type in your address, it tells you if you had Bitcoin on December the 3rd, and then you get to claim free Hex, absolutely free. But you can see here 97% of it has not been claimed, so there's a whole pot of money out there that no one is claiming. So this next bit is stake and referrals. If you type in your wallet address, which I have here, so this is my Hex wallet address through my MetaMask, it gives you loads of information about that address. So if you wanted to check someone's Hex address, you can copy and paste it, put it in this platform here. It will tell you when my stake end dates are. So if you wanted to find big whales and you said, oh look, I wonder how much they've got staked and for how long, you can find that out. You've got here total Hex. This is how much Hex I actually have, and if we compare that to what I've got on my staked platform, you can see here 255, 473, and they're saying I've got 255, 474. It's one out, they've obviously rounded up. It's also got on here how much I've received in referrals. So you can see at the beginning when I talked about these videos, I had a massive increase of people that used the link. And then since then, I've been getting small amount of referrals like the one that I received yesterday. You can also see how much I've got staked and what day that they're staking up to. So you can see mine mostly go up to the big payday. Then we have the market data. So this is how much Hex has gone up in value, and also the volume on exchanges. So how much people are actually sending this, transferring it, exchanging it. And you can see that it's just continuously going up. So that's a really good sign. We've got daily exchange volume and the AA. AA is the adoption amplifier. And you can see here that again, it's just hitting new all-time highs all the time. Now, this graph here, there's a lot going on here. The purple that you see running along the middle, let me try and zoom in on this. The purple running along the middle is the amount of Hex that are created every day. Now, as I said, they're pretty much the same every single day, but they're slow. It's very, very slightly decreasing by a very small amount. Then you have the amount of Ethereum that is going into it. So if we're looking at sort of best, so if we have a little look at really what's the best value for money, when was the perfect time to get into Hex? In my belief, it is somewhere along here, January the 4th, because the amount of Ethereum that was going into the platform was very low. You can see here it's at sort of 300 a day, but there was still obviously the same amount of Hex that is going on today. So that means that you were getting a lot of Hex for your money. So if I'd got in then, I would have been getting 1.8 million Hex, as opposed to currently at the moment getting about 25-30,000 per day. So you can see here the amount of Ethereum that's going into the platform has skyrocketed. Today's a very interesting day because the price of Ethereum has gone up. So people are holding on to their Ethereum rather than sending it to Hex. But then that means that actually there's a chance there for people that are watching this to be like, I'm going to get more Hex than I would do as if I waited till one of these days start happening again. So I don't know, I thought that was really interesting. And then down below here, it has this graph, which is a historic, current and predicted price share until the big payday. Share price since the beginning until today, and then the projected share price from today until the big payday. The share price heavily depends on the future user behavior, which cannot be predicted. Expect the future of the share price to deviate from the current prediction. This is always changing. But this is what has happened to the price of Hex, and this is why I've been talking about it, because the price of it is going up. The supply of it, the amount that you can get at the moment is huge for the next 6 months. So after 6 months, maybe, I don't know, maybe I won't talk about it as much, maybe I won't promote it as much, maybe in 6 months time it won't be as exciting because you won't be getting... Okay, so this is actually a prediction based on the current numbers that have been put into the system, where the projected share price is going to be of Hex. Now you can see here that it started off really low, pretty much at 0, and it is just skyrocketed up. Now we can see that if this continues, you've got huge potential for growth there. Now that's very interesting for me, because obviously at this point here, obviously once I hit past that day, I'm going to have double the amount of tokens that I have now, depending on obviously how many people stake or not. But even if the price was to tank after that date, so let's say it has a 70% drop, it's worth taking note of what the price is today, what you think it will be by the big payday, take that 70% drop into account, and then work out how much extra tokens you're going to have at that point for staking between now and then. You would need the price, it would have to drop something like 80% before you would actually be worse off than as if you sold your Hex today. Something like that. Do the maths yourself. That's what I worked it out to be. I may be wrong. You can see here the daily free claims. So these are people that are doing their free claims every day. And then obviously you have exchanges and what they're currently exchanging for. So lots and lots of information here. Lots of information for free. The person who created this, the only way that he benefits is, and this isn't Richard Hart, I think there's a community of developers out there, programmers and web designers. They're creating these websites for free and making them look really cool and fancy and have lots of information on there, so that it keeps drawing you in, because they hope that you click on this link here, you then buy some Hex and they gain your 10% referral fee. Obviously that's what I'm hoping to do, that's why I'm talking about it. I'm hoping that people watching this video use my link, they click on it down below, but it's entirely up to you. I try not to push it down anyone's throat. I just enjoy talking about Hex because I'm invested already. So that's really it from me today, guys. I thought I'd just share that information with you so that you can make better decision hopefully on whether you should invest on Hex or not. I think it's a really good opportunity, but don't take my word for it. I'll let you do your own research. I am looking at doing some other content as well regarding nexo.com, crypto.com, and also I'm using the library platform. If you're new to library, or you want a decentralized version of YouTube and you want to watch content that maybe wouldn't be on YouTube, head over to library, follow my channel. I'll put the link to it in the description down below. Also, I'm looking at crypto.com and Nexo, and also Cellulus as well. I want to review sort of all three of the platforms and what I think, and put some money actually into them and stake it for a little bit and see what the process is like and how easy it is, so I can give you guys honest reviews on what I think is going on with those platforms. So if you want to see that content, smash that like button, click the subscribe button if you're new to these videos, and I'll see you on the next video from myself. Bye guys.